Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight 9.6.0 patch notes for Dead by Daylight. Um, yeah, I'm curious to see what's in this. As a result of engine updates, the download file size will be larger than normal. I guess Legion is. I didn't even realize Legion was disabled, but I guess he's re-enabled. Map way Map weighing has been adjusted in order for maps to have an equal chance of spawning. Realm repeat prevention remains in effect. Interesting. I don't really know what some of that means. Features. Diminishing returns update. If I remember correctly, this was in the PTB I did not get to film because I had this weird issue. Or not weird, it's essentially a weird issue. For whatever reason, where I live, sometimes the PTBs end the correct day it says it will going to end, or it ends a day early for me, and I don't know why. But that's why I didn't. But that's if I ever miss any PTBs, that's part of it. So let's see here. While on a trial, repeated positive or negative gameplay modifiers and stats effects are now affected by diminishing returns. Identical killer and survivor modifiers granted by powers, items, perks, and offerings will now be reduced progressively as they become stacked. The following apply diminishing returns only within their role. Negative action speed modifiers, positive skill check chance modifiers. The following are excluded entirely from diminishing returns, modifiers granted from add-ons. The gameplay modifier with the highest absolute value is always applied, while lesser ones are progressively lowered to a percentage of their original value. If I remember correctly, this was an attempt. I think part of this is I forget how many PTBs ago this was now, but or updates just in general. But they had an update one day where they tried to kill something that because I think it was because it like broke the game a little bit, or there was like some actual like reason why they wanted to get rid of it, and everybody flipped out. Not everybody, but just most of the community flipped out, and then they had to revert it. Basically, they wanted to, from what I remember that time, they wanted to get rid of the fact that survivors were like having a bunch of add-ons or not add-ons perks that gave them like increased speed, so they were just zooming around the maps. Yeah, but it's good for your liver. Since because they were getting so much haste, and the way I understood things is, I think I kind of agreed. I didn't agree, but I think I at least understood why they did that, seemingly more than most of the community, because they just flipped out and didn't try to understand maybe why it was happening. They just flipped out and cried until they had to change it, until they had to revert it back. So I get this kind of feels to me like their attempt to finally do something about it, but without flat out being so extreme about it. So like you can still have perks that should give you a bunch of speed or whatever. It's just certain ones are gonna have lesser effects because you have so many of the same types on. The game prioritizes the highest values, reducing the impact of lesser ones. So first value, which is highest, 100% of that modifier. Second value, 50%. Third value, 25%. Fourth value, 12.5%. And fifth value and up is 5% of it. Game manual updated to include information on the mission returns. What? This is a PTB, right? No, this is a regular update. I thought this was a PTB for some reason. Interesting behavior. 1v4 play while you wait update. This is actually kind of nice. There's times where me and Orange have played, and for whatever reason, it takes forever. you know? define a match. So added the option to play while you wait to the default 1v4 game mode. That's actually really nice. But I want to read a little bit more because so far I don't see why this is super necessary. But I want to read, the rest of the stuff, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts. While searching for a match as killer, you will receive the option to play while you wait. This allows you to play a match as a survivor while saving your place in the killer queue. After finishing your survivor match, you will automatically be returned to your place in the killer queue. Okay, interesting. I kind of like that, honestly. That's not bad. I love 2v8 a lot, but I mean, that's not bad. I like how they're bringing that over. Progress bar update. The progress bar for interactions has a new animation to reinforce the speed differences. The color has been updated so it represents the speed of the interaction, becoming yellow faster than normal and red is slower than normal. Previously, the color was dependent on the individual contributor, i.e. a player could see the bar red even when going faster. But I guess now whatever was causing that is no longer going to be a thing, so you'll actually see if it's fast or not. That's interesting. I've definitely had times where it looked red for whatever reason, even if it was going faster, so. I also like the 1v4 play while you wait thing. That sounds nice as well. Visible team perks. Let's see. The match details have been updated to show the loadout players of the same team. Perks, items, and add-ons offerings. The match details have been updated to show the killer vault to all survivors when one of the following occurs. Any survivor enters the chase, any survivor loses a health state. Elements can be hovered to display their descriptions. The loadout of the opposite team is not displayed until the match is over, following the final score screen behavior. Interesting. That's kind of interesting that now you can see, like, okay, just as an example, if me and Orange are playing together, you can see our stuff together, like, side by side. That's kind of, not side by side, but you get to, like, see that we're a team and stuff. That's kind of cool. See what we brought with us and whatnot. Or at least that's how I read it. But maybe they mean, but I think they mean more so like all four survivors can see each other's stuff, and then the killer, of course, you get to see his stuff a little bit later. That's interesting. Spectator mode, which is not something I particularly care about, but it's always interesting to see. While in spectator mode, most elements in the HUD can be hovered to display the description. Perks, items, add-ons, goals, stats effects. Okay, fair enough. Aura customization. New aura types are available for color customization. Highlighted elements, e.g. SSC and morph, looking at specific control stations. Surfaced elements, e.g. generation by deja vu, or because of eruption. Breakable walls, killer objects, e.g. the hex trap, singularities, blood biopods. Marked elements, e.g. SSC and morph marking a control station. Okay. Content, killer updates. The Blight, who seems to have some of the most changes. Decrease the Blight's default movement speed to 4.4 meters per second, was 4.6 meters per second. Breaking a downs pallet now reduces rush tokens down to 2 below maximum. As resets current rush token recharge to 0%. Includes basic break and special break killer actions. Power description updated to reflect changes. What? So them decreasing his movement speed kind of makes sense to me. They started doing this thing where if killers have like a power that makes them go faster, now like makes them one of the speedy killers, they usually decrease their default speed. So I guess I for some reason thought they already did that with Blight, like they already decreased his movement speed because of that, but I guess not. Guess I did that in this update. Interesting. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the fact that if you put, when you're Blight, if you just break it down pallet seemingly in general, whether it's, basic break or if you use your power on it, you lose, it like reduces your tokens down to 2 below the max. and it resets the current rush token recharge back to 0. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that change. It seems kind of dumb to me that that breaks. You cannot leave Santa Monica. Which move it's up getting. I don't know if I necessarily like that happens on basic breaks where you just walk up to the pallet and break it. I feel like that's maybe a bit more extreme, but I can understand if you're doing a special break where you're using his power to break it. I could understand it if that was the context, but seemingly but yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the fact that you could just break the pallet normally and you still lose stuff, your stuff. That seems a little harsh. The Doctor. Decreased delay of shock therapy attack to 0.75 seconds with 0.8 seconds. So there's a little bit less of a delay than between for the delay of it. That's kind of nice, actually. Yeah, that one. I just heard my jaw trying to speak. Wow, that was painful. I was worried that my jaw was closing, and then I felt a sharp pain. My jaw quickly moved to the side real fast. So give me a second here, because that was painful. God, that sucked. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. That was really unfortunate. Well, but as I was saying, I think that's nice, because sometimes, that delay can kind of ruin what you were doing. Especially if the survivor is actually a good player. Someone who's kind of working around that delay. So I like that. The Cannibal increased maximum chainsaw sweep speed to 5.45 meters per second with 5.45 meters per second. Interesting that they made him faster, but I kind of get it. Kind of. Yeah, sure, fair enough. The Ghostface decreased the cooldown of Nitro to 15 seconds with 17 seconds. That's really nice. Especially because if you look at him and you take it off. I forget if you have to deal with the full punishment or if you deal with only part, or if it's longer or not. But I kind of like that, making it a little bit faster to recharge. The Demogorgon increased Shred's movement speed to 19 meters per second with 18.45 meters per second, so it's a little bit faster. Nice. Increased Shred's turn rate to 55 degrees per second with 27.5 degrees per second. That's a huge increase. Increased duration of undetectable after traversing upside down trolls with 5. Dang, Demogorgon got some pretty big buffs, it feels like. That's kind of nice. Kind of like that. The Dredge increased movement speed while charging Rain of Darkness to 4 meters per second with 3.8 meters per second. That's also pretty nice. The Mastermind decreased recovery time of Virulent Bound to 2.7 seconds with 3 seconds. I mean, already that sounds really nice. Decreased charge time per token. Decreased charge time per token to 5 seconds. Was 5.5 seconds. Okay. Nice, so you get your tokens back a little bit quicker. Increased duration of the chainbound window to 2.5 seconds was 2 seconds. Fair enough. I'm still gonna suck playing against a Wesker, and now it'll suck a little bit more for me 'cause I'm dog piss at this game, but fair enough, yeah, fair enough, give it a change. I'm scared about this one. The Skill Merchant. Anytime I see her, I get scared because I'm still upset because they are refusing to just do her rework, which is something she desperately needs. And they're just refusing to do it, which has made me and Orange very upset because we were looking forward to it. And then they just decided they weren't going to do it. And Yeah. Added support for multiple power icons. New power icon map to deploy drones, rotate, and recall actions. Okay, so they gave Skill Merchant fucking nothing. Awesome, great. So happy you fucking did that. Alright, I'm gonna move on before they just go on an angry rant about how pissed off I am that they refuse to do anything that they're. The unknown. Decreased cooldown of UVX to 6.25 seconds was 7 seconds. Decreased weakened survivor vision lingered duration 0.75 seconds was 1.25 seconds. Yeah, fair enough. I know it's kind of confusing to me, but fair enough. Yeah, we tried. Decreased time to recall the fire axe when embedded in the environment to 6 seconds was 7 seconds. Decreased time to recall the fire axe when embedded in a survivor to 8 seconds was 10 seconds. Decreased battery consumption per camera in use to 6% was 7%. Decreased battery consumption upon survivor teleport to 12% was 15%. Key binding for grab axe button updated to use power input with attack input. Okay, fair enough. You got some good changes. Killer add-ons updates. Yes, please. I am excited for these. The nurse. So we got heavy panting, which is a rare one. Extends the duration of a lunge after more than one blink by 10%, was 30%, so they nerfed it. So they nerfed it then. Awesome. Cool. But I kind of get it because I believe they added some. I think at one point they gave like nurse and basic stuff. I want to be honest with you guys. I don't know how you nursemates are doing it because her second blink, when me and Orange have tried to successfully use it, it's so bad. Like, it's so bad. Like it. Every time me and him have tried to successfully use the second blink like attack, you go like we go like nowhere in the sense of like going forward. We go like nowhere going forward. It's such a small amount going forward that doesn't even like matter in the chase we're doing or whatever. So yeah, and then like the attack range feels kind of short for it as well. It's very frustrating for us, which is one of the big reasons why we will probably never have the adept for her. So the Ghost Faces add-on, the Wall Eyes Matchbook, which is a common one, decreased night shot recovery time by 2 seconds, was 3 seconds. Okay, fair enough. Masterminds add-ons, the Loose Crank, which is uncommon, increases movement speed between the first and second building bomb with 50% was 8%. So they buffed it. That as if I wasn't getting my ass handed to me by Mastermind enough. Gonna go ahead and add this to it. Cool. Egg Gold, which is a rare one, increases the chain bound window by 20% with 50%. So they nerfed that one then by quite a bit. Okay. Interesting. The animatronics add-ons. Restaurant menu, which is common, decreases the minimum time to retrieve an axe embedded in the environment by 10%, was 20%. Interesting. Access panel, which is very rare. While aiming the fire axe reveals survivors with the 6 meters of security doors with killer instinct was 4 meters. So they buffed that one. Okay, that's kind of nice. Survivor perk update. Just fast track. Got it. Ooh, Deathslinger. Something about him. Let's go. Fast track. Whenever you unhook another survivor, you earn 1 token up to 1, 2 free. Was whenever another survivor is hooked, you earn 1, 2 free tokens up to 9. So now instead of everyone else getting hooked, instead of you now have to do the unhook. That's interesting. While repairing, whenever you hit a great gracious skill attack, spend all tokens. For each token spent, the generator gains 5% permanent progress, was 2% permanent progress. Okay, fair enough. Sounds a little bit better now, honestly, which is kind of nice. 2v8, so we get the Deathslinger. Increased walk reload speed penalty from 0.7 to 0.8. That really sucks. But it's 2v8, so I kind of get it, but that really sucks. So that's a nerf in the sense that you're now, that penalty is a little bit bigger. Decreased fire mist duration from 1.5 seconds to 1.2 seconds. So that's also a nerf. So they just nerfed, cool, so they just nerfed Deathslinger then. Awesome. 2v8 Deathslinger just got nerfed then, boys. Okay. The Oni increased loss of demon mode uptime from 7 seconds to 10 seconds when downing a survivor. So they nerfed that Oni too a little bit. Okay, I mean, Oni's nerf isn't as big, I guess, but still, that's kind of interesting. Cage of Corruption. Cages will now feedback. The anti-camp bar. Once the anti-camp bar reaches maximum threshold, the survivor will be given the choice to relocate. Upon relocation, the bleed out timer now pauses for 30 seconds. Interesting. Map. So they add the Temple of Purgation, and then they also added the Ironworks of Misery. Interesting. Bug fixes. So we got audio here. Audio. Fix an issue where missing voice lines for 9 survivors and 2 killers in the lobbies and in trials. Okay. Fix an issue where missing voice line and placeholder subtitles can be seen when entering an offline lobby with the Dark Lord. Fix an issue where 4 survivors have the wrong music for the Dungeons and Dragons cosmetics. Fix an issue where sometimes the audio of Rick Grimes is corrupted. Fix an issue where Kwon Tae-young was non-stop coughing during Vile Purge phase. Oh, the new guy. Okay. I hope that they fixed, can't think of her name right now, but the girl from Walking Dead's puking sound effect, because it's, from what I remember, like, when she launched, it was so freaking loud. Fix an issue where the erased wailing bell is silent when the purple motley torso cosmetic is equipped. Fix an issue where SFX was missing when opening the options menu. Fix an issue where survivors do not play the appropriate shoe type footsteps on any terrain. Fix an issue where the asphalt parking lots in the Greenville Square map will now play grass footsteps as SFX. Fix an issue where globally male zombies are missing their grunts. Fix an issue where the music of killers are replaced by the one from the main menu when switching role in custom games. Fix an issue where the music has effects is muffled after the generator is repaired on Trickster's delusion. Fix an issue where both the audio and animation of the Dark Lord's second and third wolf form pounds are missing. Fix an issue where survivors are missing a set of screams when hooked or sent to a cage. Fix an issue where there's no audio SFX running blood points in the tally screen. Alright, bot improvements. They love improving the bots, which makes sense. I'm so happy to add bots because it has not only helped with how horrible that first 2v8's timer was, but also it's just helped out in general. I'm so happy that that was a thing that they did. That was probably one of the biggest updates they did. Survivor bots working against players that are interacting with an exit switch. Fix an issue where survivor bots would walk slowly while in chase. Fix an issue where survivor bots that would drop pallets too hastily during a chase. Adapted bots usage and vision of the fog vials according to their latest update. Fix an issue where a survivor bot could reveal the ghost face through walls. Fix an issue where with scout survivor bots being unable to repair pallets. That's what, interesting. Interesting characters. Fix an issue with the hacks, traps, aura, caused some visibility issues. Fix an issue with the singularity slipstreaming to survivors, dropping pallets, caused a desync to occur. Fix an issue with the masterminds, virulent bounds, acceleration vignettes stayed active when grabbing and getting stunned at the same time. Fixed an issue where the mastermind slid off windows instead of hitting vaulting survivors. Fixed an issue where the night guard summon path flickered beyond the 10-meter visibility limit from the survivor POV. Fixed an issue where summoning a guard as the night at a higher FOV caused the camera to snap back. Fixed the issue where the Legion could repeatedly attack at the start of the Feral Frenzy cooldown. Fixed an issue where the nurse's hand animation played faster during blink. Fixed an issue where the Huntress was not able to get the charge shot score event when fully charging a hatchet. Fixed an issue where the Trickster's add-on killing part chords was still only reducing the style rank decay by 20%. Fix an update where fix an issue where the Trickster could re-trigger the S rank by using main event just before the expiration. Fix an issue where the Trickster's style rank regressed when grabbing a survivor from a locker. Fix an issue where the Xenomorph could gain blind immunity after canceling the tunnel entry animation. Fix an issue where Ash Williams' tail bobbing caused the flashlight to aim toward the ground. Fix an issue where the animatronic's knife wasn't properly dissolving during its screaming idle animation. Fix an issue where the clown uses the back of his knife during his mori. Fix an issue where Sable's reflections in red outfit clips into her body when she is being carried by a killer. Fix an issue where the reverse bear trap is missing for the pig in both the lobby and main menu. Fix an issue where Meg Thomas's zipper hoodie torso cosmetic was not displaying properly. Fix the issue where a survivor gets stuck after being unhooked. Fix an issue where survivors did not keep the Mori VFX when another survivor died on the hook against a specific killers. When against 4 specific killers. Fix an issue where Yui Kimura's outfit, pad-footed boots, while being carried by a killer would obstruct the killer's POV. Fix an issue where the Legion's powers were not properly changing colors when changing colorblind mode. Fix an issue where the survivor animations would sometimes desync after the killer grabs him out of a locker. Fix an issue where the ghouls cogging a leap on a survivor entering a locker caused the survivor to get stuck in the locker. Fix an issue where the Dredge's nightfall lighting was applied during the mori. Environment/maps. Fix an issue where singularities biopods would float when placed in an alley on Trickster's Delusion map. Fix an issue in Midwich Elementary School where the killer can't interact with a locker. Fix an issue in Trickster's Delusion where the camera at the beginning of a trial clips through the Houndmaster. Fix an issue in Treatment Feeder where the projectiles can't go through a plant in the map. Fix an issue in Treatment Feeder where a Fountain of Devotion can't be interacted with. Fix an issue in Toba Landing where Snug could not vault over on top of the main structure. Fix an issue in Garden of Joy where the collisions around the piano were blocking projectiles. Fix an issue in Treatment Feeder where a generator can't be interacted on one side. Fix an issue in Dead Dogs Land where a yellow tarpaulin is clipping in the ground.
Fix an issue in Trickster's solution where claws that are sticking out of the wall prevent killers from navigating the room where they appear. Fix an issue in Trickster's solution map where most trash cans do not have flies VFX. Fix an issue to fix a multiple collision issue in a wall near the iconic tree on the Coolman Farm map by changing the default collision complexity to use the mesh as the complex collision. I don't even understand what that means. Fix a collision issue where the killer could throw projectiles through the metal grates on the tower floor on the Lake Ormond line map. Fix a one-sided texture that can be seen above the entrance of the killer basement, the main building issue on Macmillan Estate Suffocation Pit map by moving the dirt mesh around. Fix a collision issue where the Huntress hatchet gets stuck on metal bars in freezer room at getting a meat plant. Fix an issue where part of the exterior right wall fades out during a moray near the exit gates on any map in the Macmillan realm. Fix an issue in Trickster's Delusion where the screen goes black when the nurse blinks in the corner store. Fix an issue in Nostromo where a collision blocked the player from moving around an obstacle. Fix an issue in Pale Rose where a hook could not be sabotaged. Fix an issue in Gideon B plant where the Legion could vault over the edge of the vat. Fix an issue in Father Campbell's Chapel where a placeholder tile could spawn in a generation of the map. Fix an issue in Sanctum of Wrath where the Mastermind dash would make the player lose control. Fix an issue in Garden of Joy where trapped killers could not use their powers in the stair landing. Fix an issue in Sanctum of Wrath where one trap could spawn inside of an object. Fix an issue in Ormond Resort where objects could spawn too close to each other and prevent the navigation of the players. Fix an issue in Mutter's Dwelling where a character could get stuck in the collision of an object. Cool.
More cheese? The OM cheeseburger for $11.99. Only at Applebee's.
There's so much to read.
Get the
Perks.
#1 ultra soft tissue that's allergist approved.
Fix an issue where the perk Ultimate Weapon activated on Totem Snuff. Fix it. She could easily do it in person. She could easily do it if she actually paid attention to the instructions. I don't know why she gave myself so. Fix an issue where selecting random killer perks challenge was no longer giving perks in a trial. Fix an issue where corrective action remained active when the perk holder was removed by the trial. Fix an issue where vigil remained active on the hook where the perk owner had been sacrificed. Fix an issue where a change of plan transformed to non-toolbox items given by dramaturgy when triggered inside a blocker. Fix an issue where quick and quiet could be used just before the cooldown ends. Fix an issue where the brand new part toolbox add-on consumed fast track tokens. Token stacks without applying them. Fix an issue where the Legion was unable to frenzy vault over a pallet being lifted up by any means necessary. Platforms. Fix an issue on Xbox where survivors not able to move during a tutorial or a trial. Fix a crash occurring with DX1 on launch in the game. I don't even understand what that means. Quests. Fix an issue where the grenade launcher master challenge was unable to be completed. UI. Fix an issue where the match details wouldn't display when a survivor was holding the Kratzy's glowing fungus. Fix an issue where the match details would mark some items as unknown rarity. Fix an issue where opening the match details would interrupt actions even with the interaction set to toggle. Fix an issue with the diminishing return tooltip. Not opening the game manual page on bots loadout. Fix an issue where consents could not be accepted with a controller. Fix a memory leak cost by entering and closing turn menu fast enough. Fix an issue with the HUD position to be off-centered. Fix an issue with the survivor HUD would shift when the survivor's anti-camp bar appeared. Miscellaneous fixed an issue on PC where the cursor is stuttering when controlling a character. Fixed an issue where the menu not scrolling was a controller. Fixed a crash that occurs when completing the onboarding matches. Fixed an issue when using the self-unhook features right before the skill checks popped up, caused the UI and VFX to appear after self-unhooking. Oh, CV8 stuff. Oh my god. We're gonna be here forever. Why are they always so long? Behavior, why? Fixed an issue where the torchbearer was able to throw a flashbang from a high ground. Fixed an issue where Fearmonger's team skill caused survivors to scream inside lockers. Fixed an issue where the brute class's loading tip was out of date. Fixed an issue where the uncased survivor could stay stuck in the air. Fixed an issue where the huntress projectiles blocked the mastermind's dash. Fixed an issue where the Oni remained in demon dash animation when destroying a breakable wall at the same time as the other killer. Fixed an issue where the nemesis of zombies could spawn between a generator and rubble in Autohaven Wreckers. Fixed an issue where the trapper could hide traps under the stones by a door on the second floor in the fodder Campbell's Chapel map. Fixed an issue where sometimes survivors spawn far away from each other in Sanctum of Wrath map. Fixed an issue where sometimes a tree could spawn on top of the generator next to the smokehouse in the Mother's Dwelling map. Fixed an issue where generator was unable to be interacted with on one side of the treatment feeder map. Fixed an issue where survivors were able to get on top of a pallet in the treatment feeder map. Fixed an issue where some rocks on the ground that had superfluous collision, whatever that means. Changes from PTB. Diminishing returns update. Following PTB, the following gameplay modifiers can now apply diminishing returns only within their role. Negative action speed modifiers and positive skill check chance modifiers. Thank you for your feedback during the 9.6.0 PTB period. Following reports, we have appended the diminishing return system to exclude specific modifiers to maintain intended interactions. Notably, negative modifiers will now only apply within the same role. We discovered during PTB that negative modifiers from killer and survivor sources were reducing each other, causing self-inflicted penalties to be lessened and gameplay outcomes not working as intended. On 9.6.0 PTB, for example, the self-inflicted 30% cleansing speed penalty from the survivor perk, Calm Spirit, was being reduced by 50% when calculated against the starting 60% cleansing speed penalty from the killer's perk Hexville the Haunt. Similarly, we found that positive modifiers for skill checks also needed this intervention. The survivor perk 1, 2, 3, 4 was causing killer perks like Unnerving Presence to have their effects reduced, which caused skill checks less likely to appear than the intended total increase. While this ultimately increases complexity, this change guarantees that survivor and killer modifiers from loadouts always work as intended by players selecting them. Progress bar update. The progress bar allows arrows no longer adjust their speed dynamically and instead have free stack speeds: fast, normal, and slow. Visible team perks. The selected killer is now hidden at the start of a trial and is only displayed to all survivors when one of the following occurs. Survivor enters the chase, survivor loses a help state. When the selected killer is visible to survivors, the character's name is now also displayed. The hidden loadout while the selected killer is visible to survivors, the character's name is now also displayed. The hidden loadout has been adjusted to not be confused with an empty loadout. Survivor perk updates. Fast track. Whenever you unhook another survivor, you earn 1 token up to 1, 2, 3. Was whenever another survivor is hooked, you earn 1, 2, 3 tokens up to 9 on 9.5.2. While repairing, whenever you hit a great basic skill check, spend all tokens for each token spent, the generator gains 5% permanent progress, was 1% permanent progress on 9.6.0 PTB. We have heard concerns from the community at large on fast track since its rework was introduced in the 9.5.0 PTB. After a period of observation and assessment, we understand the previous trigger condition was providing too great a source of permanent generated progress in trials for simply choosing to equip a perk. With this update, the responsibility to earn tokens will now be on the survivor player who has chosen to equip the perk, incentivizing them to alternate between objects like hook rescues and generator repairs. Bug fixes. Fix an issue with the anti-camp unhook mechanic was always enabled in custom matches. Fix an issue where skill checks was unaffected by diminishing returns. Fix an issue where several killer objects and block generator auras appeared purple instead of default white. Fix an issue where the Nightmare's Dream Snare auras appeared purple regardless of the aura color setting. Fix an issue where the Nightmare's Dream palette did not have a killer object aura once placed. Fix an issue where the Nightmare's Rupture power did not have a palette with an aura. Fix an issue where the Demogorgon's active portal aura was always revealed to survivors. Fix an issue where survivors possess VFX were missing when the DMR for the moving control station. The creation with a detailed pick up item prompt displayed the previous item icon in the empty pocket slot. Fix an issue where the music SFX is muffled after the generator is repaired in the nightclub in the Trickster Solution map. Fix an issue where survivors' solutions were placeholders when using Real Illusion. Fix an issue where the survivors weren't able to scream when Deathbound activated after healing another survivor. Fix an issue where the external perk icon was missing when the school merchant used the geographical readout add-on. Fix an issue where red herring is missing the cooldown state on the icon. And finally, known issues. On Switch, okay, so all three of them are Switch only. So if you're not a Switch player, disregard. On Switch only, the Nightmare's Dream Snare attack could trigger distorted audio from nearby survivors. On Switch only, the majority of killers and survivors' hair are missing, transparent, or flickering. On Switch only, the Huntress hunting hatchets are invisible in her left hand. Awesome, cool. So happy we finally got through this. So, final thoughts. I completely forgot that this wasn't a PTB. For some reason, I had it in my head when I started reading it that it was like a new PTB, but it's not, which makes sense. Gotta say, a lot of these were kind of word soupy to me. Like a lot of the bug fixes, some of the bug fixes, I just did not understand because they were very word soupy to me, and I just didn't know like what they were referring to anymore. But some of the actual changes felt kind of nice, like the I'm happy that 2V got some nice updates. They fixed up Deathslinger in 2V a little bit. They fixed up Oni up a little bit. They fixed up how the cages work a little bit, which is nice. They added some new maps, which is always fun to see. The Survivor perk update, I don't remember what my opinion was on Fast Track when it got reworked at all anymore, because it's that was a number of months ago, and I'm also like incredibly busy nowadays and stuff, so I don't remember what my opinion was. The video should still be up if anyone wants to watch that to know, but I'm happy that they did update that. It sounded like there were some problems caused by that rework, so I'm glad that they fixed it up. All the killer add-on changes feel nice. I'm very happy with those. I'm happy with the killer changes, the killer updates in general. I feel like they did a really good job kind of fixing up everybody that they did touch. I'm sure we'll have more. I'm sure there'll be more fixes coming. Update failed. Alright, well I'm gonna have to fix that after this video. The aura customization is always nice. I'm very happy with that. Spectator mode, again, I'm not a big fan of. I'm kind of whatever on that. I'd rather play the game than spectate, so that's just kind of meh to me. The visible team perks I really like. I really like that change, how you can see certain things with the killer, like in a trial finally, and then you'll see the rest of it later, and that you can finally see like what all your teammates brought during the trial. I'm happy about that. The progress bar update was really nice. I'm very happy about that because again, I've had moments where the bar is faster, but it's like red or something, instead of it being that yellow color it's supposed to be.
Positive affirmations help keep me grounded and not the pitch. I am successful. I am talented. I am strong.
The 1v4 play while you wait update is interesting. I feel like that's not the biggest necessity, except for like certain times of the day or like a few other things.
The energy is always fun.
Just because I feel like for the most part, I feel like you can find a match, maybe not super quickly, but quickly enough, so. But still, I'm glad that they fixed that up and made it a little bit better. That's always nice. Oh yeah, the mission returns of them. Happy that they fixed that. It sounds like there was a ton of problems during that PTB, so I'm very happy that that's fixed now, seemingly. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the aggro garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Ooh.